bring that back. I like that. Let's bring that back. Let's bring that back. Like and subscribe. All right. We're live. I know I don't usually come on live on Wednesday, but you know what? I finally got my contract. I'm starting Monday. Work. My wife is getting ready for Tabernacle. Unfortunately, I can't join her this year because I got to start working. I'll probably set up some tent. I don't know, in the back somewhere. I don't know, roof in the park. I don't know. I'll work it out. But, you know, I figured since today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm not going to be doing much outside just waiting for work, to go to work. I said, you know, let me just come on and have a conversation with the folks out there. So make sure you like, subscribe. Just somebody give me a thumbs up if I'm coming in good in regard to my sound, my audio. I just want to make sure before we start the show that we are... I'm coming in loud and clear. So part of the reason why I came on today, because I was, you know, being a content creator, one of the biggest challenges is finding subject to talk about. And sometimes, you know, people send you stuff, or people send you things, or you sometimes come across some video. And I came across a video today. And, you know, the title of the, okay, Shalom, thank you. I see you guys there. Shalom. Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure I'm coming in loud and clear. So, you know, I saw a video. And, you know, I titled today's show, what was the title? Intersectional feminism. We're going to go into that, what that is. Believe that when white men are sexual predators when they go overseas to find love. Are they right? So it's looking, and I guess I want to address my white brothers today. You know, after all, you are my brother, according to the scriptures. You know, thou should not abhor Edomite, for he is your brother. And it looks like this problem is not a black problem, a brown problem, a white problem. This is a Western problem that we're having. So I want to play the video, right? And let me give you guys a backdrop because I'm going to show little parts and pieces of it. And shout out to brother Brazil Josh, shout out to you doing your work. He's one of these passport brothers that's out there spreading the news in regards to say, hey, you can find love in other places. I was supposed to have interviewed him. We were negotiating or talking back and forth real quick via email. It was like a 1 or 2 emails, but then that's when my previous channels got hacked. And so I want to at least get monetized first, or at least have enough subscribers to get monetized, which is 1,000. I think I'm at 717 last time I checked. So make sure if you think you have subscribed, you probably did. But it was probably with my previous channel. So make sure you like and subscribe. Also, if you want to donate to the cause, you know, you guys been holding me up. You could any donation you could send it to the Cash App and also PayPal. PayPal is hashtag IAMFIT, no space, and then Cash App is $ IAMFIT1, no space. So if you want to donate and support the cause, it is highly needed and highly appreciated. Okay. So let me kind of give you guys the backdrop. So this guy here was asking a question. He is a European man that has found love overseas, and he's asking a question on his TikTok, Instagram. I don't remember where exactly this. I don't know where he got it from because I got this from his YouTube channel is not his YouTube channel. Excuse me. Is website is yashjones.com, www.yashjones.com. So check him out. But he put his video together. So I just want to give it credit when credit is due. So you want to see the full video? It's about 6 minutes long. It's in the bottom. I'm going to pick it up at 22 seconds. And I'm gonna just give you guys a little bit. So this gentleman was asking a question, and the question was, do you feel that Filipina women are loyal at a higher percentage rate than normal American women? Trust is big issue for me. Trust is a big issue for me. So now he's answered the question. And let me go here. Okay. So we're going to pick it up at at 21 seconds. Okay. You can see the entire video is in my community section all the way in the bottom. And you can check out Brother Josh. Make sure you like and subscribe because I support his journey. I don't always have to agree with you. You don't always have to believe in God or the God of the Bible. I don't know what religion he's in. He's a regular brother, but he's having conversation about finding love outside the Americas. Whether I agree or disagree that in regards to certain things, that's besides the point. I want figures to stay focused with me because this thing came today and I wanted to kind of stay focused. And I believe that let me just go ahead. I believe that this is becoming an epidemic in the West, that we have to talk about it. So fair use, okay. And matter of fact, let me put this here. Fair use. I want to play a little bit of it, interrupt, because I got to, for not to get a copyright strike, I have to kind of chop it up a little bit. Fair use for educational purpose only.
Women who are also Asian have a tendency to be more loyal to their partner.
This is absolutely disgusting to me. This is why I specialize in.
Okay, so this woman specialized in intersectional feminism. Okay, so she's gonna break it down. So she's commenting and she's pissed off at this man speaking to other men about whether women are Filipino women are loyal, because trust is the issue, I guess, for that gentleman, right?
Intersectional feminism, and I cannot let this go. You can go watch the original creator's video if you want, but I'll give you a trigger warning. It's gross and full of these two things. First, I want to make this super clear, and I will not stutter. If you are a man, specifically a white man, who seeks out...
So this woman, right, is a intersectional feminist. Let me give you guys a definition. I just found out about this today. The purpose for intersectional feminism, is to recognize how different aspects of a person's identity might interact to change the way they experience the world, and the barriers they might face as a result. So look it up, intersectional feminism. Ever heard of it? That's the definition. It basically, from what I understanding is the understanding of how your identity is affected by other folks, and how does your identity affect others? I guess if I'm seeing it right. So Okay, so let's go back to the video. Okay, so that's what she is. That's what she represents. She's an expert in this. Let me back it up a little bit.
And I will not stutter. If you are a man, specifically a white man, who seeks out women from developing countries who are poor and vulnerable, you are a predator.
So, what she is, her premise is that white men, and this is true for a long time, other men have done it too, but, you know, I guess she's addressing white men because, you know, in this society, white men have become the boogeyman, and many white women have abandoned their white men to join feminism. And this is quite, you know, strange. I want to explain why this tickle my bones, tickle my funny bone, and the irony of it all, because during the 60s, right? Because there was two waves of feminism, and I'm going to probably do a conversation on that in a future tense, in a future show. It was in the turn of the 19th century, going into the 19th century. That was the first wave, and the second wave, I believe, was in the 60s. Okay, in the 60s. Okay, in the term of the the 19th centuries, it didn't really affect black women, or black women did not really get involved. Because at that time, especially the show I did yesterday, white people used to look at brown and black people as other. So it was mostly a white woman issue with white men, the first wave of feminism, if my memory serves me correctly. The second wave, which happened in the 60s, that's when you see the feminists, the white feminist women joining with the African-American so-called women in this struggle of feminism, equal rights, and giving women opportunity. At that time, black men were complaining that black women left them to join the feminist group. And that's been a discussion. You can see that all through different pro-black or pro-conscious woke, you know, conversation. That feminism for black women hurt black women in particular, because the problem that the white women had with their white counterpart was their problem. And they began to bring in black women to say, listen, because they're obviously the strength in numbers, you know. And at that time in the 60s, they broke away from, you know, at least in the surface, broke away from the black and brown people are subhumans, you know, kind of perspective, you know. Going back to the whole polygamy thing, they used to be polygamy. I know PJ keeps telling me that I'm pronouncing that word, polygyny, I think, polygyny, if I'm getting it right. Not polygamy. Polygamy is more like anything goes, or multiple partners. It could be men and women with several men. So, but you guys understand what I'm saying? Polygamy in the aspect of one man, several women. So now you have white women that are pissed off at white men because white men are going outside of the country, and they've been doing this for a long time. This is now is keeping up. We catching up to this thing because of the YouTube and you know, the internet, social media. But now white men are going overseas, finding love or marriage or whatever. What they call, she calls it, being a sexual predator. And this is her expertise, because she's an intersectional feminist. And I hope I got the right spelling for that in the comments, right? Intersectional. Yep. Let me make that correction in the community section, because I know the first one. I thought she said intersexual feminism, and that's not what she said. She's not intersexual, intersectional. Okay, so let me make the correction in the community section. Forgot to do that earlier. So, okay. So she's pissed off because white men in particular, because she's addressing white men because the white men are the oppressors, right? And now she's down with minorities, and she viewed minorities or people are, the lesser people that have been oppressed, have been women, black, gays. She's in that perspective. And I'm not saying there has not been oppression of gays and women and all that, and even white women and all women have been oppressed at one point of time. Even white people got oppressed in Ireland, right? That's why the Irish were considered to be subhuman, by white Anglo-Saxons, Protestant standards at one time. Even Italians, I think, also had an issue. We all know black and brown people, we got the short end of the stick of oppression, but everybody established some level of oppression. So, now these issues that were specifically within now white women have left their white counterpart and joining this coalition of black and brown, gay, BGTQ, S, Y, and Z community, the oppressed community. Now, I'm not impressed. I'm a king. I'm a lion. Nobody's impressing me. I'm just, I'm a king operating in borrowed times, waiting for my Messiah. But because oppression is first starts in the mind, right? You got to free your mind first. So now the white woman is abandoning and attacking her white counterpart. And there's a scripture that comes to mind, and I'm going to read it later, that when the children of Israel will begin to cry unto the Lord, that the curses that came upon them would then come upon the Gentiles. So I want to talk to my brother Esau today. White man, let's have a conversation. If you're a white man, I want you to call in later on. Are you feeling the blood? Are you feeling the feminism and all this kind of wokeism is hitting also in white neighborhoods? Let's talk about it. Fair use.
This man in his video goes on to perpetuate a horrific stereotype that literally harms Asian women, that says that Asian women are more submissive and loyal than Western women. The reason.
So, and she's right though. We'd have a conversation. Is Asian women are submissive because, and she said it's a stereotype. Pay attention to what she's saying. It's a stereotype. Now, in the full video, which is 6 minutes and 16 seconds long, and shout out, let me just show you guys the channel. You can take a quick look at it. This is right here. Brazil Josh. Okay? So shout out to him. He puts these videos together. And there's a lot of these type of videos, on. Right? So she's saying that it is a stereotype to believe that Asian women are all submissive. Now, in the video, there are Asian women clapping back. And I want you guys to see it. There are also Arabic women clapping back. This is from Canada. So see the whole video because it gives you a much larger understanding of what's going on in the social media world, right? And this is her explanation why Asian women are submissive.
The reason these women from
fair use
these developing countries are marrying you is the exact same reason that American women had to marry you before the 1970s, because they had to, because they were economically vulnerable. And now,
you hear that? She said that the same reason these Asian women are marrying white men or foreign men is the same reason why white women, because she's referring to white men, she's speaking to white men, and the reason why, women had to submit themselves to white men because they have to. They ain't had economic freedom. Fair use. Let's have a conversation. She may have a point. Let's talk about it. I'm not here to attack. It's time to have a conversation, engage. Okay? And so if you are of the white, race, ethnic, or you recognize yourself as a European, I want to hear your points. This is the best way for, race relations, to kind of get along. So let's talk about it.
Now, American women won't marry you because we can have our own jobs and our own bank accounts. So you have to go to a developing country where those women are more vulnerable so you can get them.
So let me get this right. American women are not marrying, I guess she's addressing white men, but men in general, right? Because now they could get their own job, get their own money. So what you want these white men to do? Just stay around? You don't want them. Right? What you want them to do? Stay there and not be married? I'm just, But according to her expertise, because she's an intersectional feminist, these white men are predators.
That's a predator. I have worked in and around the military for a good amount of my career, and I actually lived in Asia for a little while. You should see the lines out the door of the visitor's office to get a visitor's pass.
I believe her. That's been a thing for a long time. A lot of white men, they used to retire, who are like a retirement age, used to go to Thailand and get themselves a Thailand or a Filipino woman. Now, are there pedophiles out there too? If that's a big thing, yes. So it's a lot of bad and good that comes, involved with that. But what I'm saying is, she is saying any man that will deal with a woman, obviously of age, that goes to this country is dealing with them only for the sole purpose because these women are poor, broke women, impoverished women, and these evil white men are taking advantage. And she's right. Let's have a conversation about it.
For their Asian girlfriends on these bases. And almost every single one of them will tell you they like the Asian women better. Because the Asian women know how to treat a man. The Asian women are quiet and submissive. The Asian women know their place. Which brings me to my point on intersectional feminism. Y'all have heard that 1 in 3 women will
You could hear that on your, hear the whole thing. And shout out to her. She's doing her own thing. I mean, she's an expert in these things. What I know? I'm a dumb hick, right? But I began to do some research on this subject. And I began to look at, to see if that's the case, right? If when these women or these men go to overseas, they're oppressing these women, right? And obviously she's upset because Asian women, and this is true, we got to call it, the truth when the truth is true. Asian women are the most submissive women, I believe, in the world. I would even say more submissive than Latinas. I love my Latina sisters. I married one. But those Asian women, next level. But is it because of poverty? And I gotta agree with her in some degree. I believe yes. Because she said it too. She said it that the reason why American women were most submissive in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s and the 30s and the 20s is because they didn't have any options. They didn't have much option. You want to get married or you can't, there were not opportunities for, women in the 60s. So can a woman be submissive? And this is a question for the sisters and brothers too. You could throw in some names. I spoke to some friends about this question before I went on today. And they threw some names out of people, women that are successful but are submissive to their man. I couldn't find, some say Beyonce. It's Beyonce. I don't see her out there so much, talking against Jay-Z. I think she's pretty respectful towards her husband. There was some other people that get sent, but give me some names. I don't, I'm all for it. I don't know. I don't follow social media like that. But can a woman be? Shout out to old wise man. Eddie Murphy did with that Roar, right? When you bring, I want to bring a sister from overseas, but I'm not gonna bring her to America, because eventually, the woman, she's gonna be like, what you had done for me lately, Eddie, and this is in the 80s, so this is showing that this has been a problem. Even, this has been something that's been known. Western women are a problem. And I wanna have this conversation because when I engage in certain things, sometimes I can be honest with myself and say, you know what, there is some truth to that. But sometimes it has to be unpacked. So let's try to unpack this, right? In the same way as Eve, when she didn't have an option. I don't know. I want to hear sisters' point today about this. Right? And she was with Adam. And Satan came and said, hey, tempted her and gave her options. But if she would not have that option, well, she would have ever been interested in defining God. Right? Or is it before Eve even ate the fruit? Well, she was hardwired to be submissive to her husband because she didn't have anything. Everything was her husband. Adam was created first, so, right? There's a legend, and I don't subscribe to this legend. I'll just make a disclaimer. There was a legend, and it came around the medieval times. It goes back to the medieval times, specifically in the Jews and Jewish people in Europe. This is not found in any other records. So in their records, it says there was a woman created before Eve, Lilith, and she became a demon. After that, she became the queen, the queen of the clouds, or the queen of the sky, queen or goddess of the sky. I think that is mentioned, I think, in somewhere in Zechariah, or not Zechariah, Isaiah. And the story goes, I don't believe it happened, but the story goes that Lilith and Adam was created at the same time. Lilith didn't want to submit herself to Adam because she was created from the same substance that God created Adam, the earth. So they were created equally in the same time. So in her mind, she felt she should not submit to Adam because she's equal to Adam. That's the legend. I don't believe it, but that's the legend. So God then cursed her. She became a demon, and then after that she took Adam, put him to sleep, took a rib, and out of that rib came Eve. So disclaimer, I don't believe that it happened because there's really no evidence. You can't really find it in any other record outside of the medieval Talmudic writings, But we're here and there. That's not the point. The point is that whether Eve found this struggle or of submitting under her man, after she got power, or it was always in her? Meaning, does a woman, and this is a question to a woman, is it harder for you guys to be submissive under a man if you have options? We all know God's commandment told you, wives, submit yourself unto your husband as unto the Lord. However, though, is it harder for you when you do have choices? And is it easy when you don't have much choices or any at all? So let me just say it. Let me speak to the big elephant in the room. Is it harmful to keep or educate women too much and give women too much option? Is that is a struggle that she has to acknowledge? And I'm not saying to keep a woman barefoot and pregnant in the home. I'm not saying that. Literally, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it makes it harder for a woman when she is educated, got option to submit to her man. Because according to this woman, this intersectional feminist expert, that's her expertise, look her up. Men that do that, they will go to a woman that don't have much option, like the joke that Eddie Murphy said in the late 80s in that comedy special called Raw. The lyrics were Raw, one of those two. He was speaking about American women now, they got rights. This is the 80s. They don't, they have, they're intelligent, they don't take any mess, they're strong. I'm gonna go to Africa and find me, a woman in the jungle somewhere and bring her to America, right? But he said, you know what, I gotta be careful bringing her to America. You can't expose her to American women because they're gonna start learning, rights and all that, right? It was a joke, obviously. He's a comedian, that's what he does. But when you look at all white men, because I guess she's addressing this to the white man, but there's also now brothers are going overseas finding wives and all that. I have personal friends of mine that have gone overseas and got married to women overseas. And all the time is for the same, they tell me the same reason. I couldn't find a good woman in the States, man, so I started exploring my horizon. But there's been a constant stereotype or echoing the same rhetoric that Asian women are the most submissive. Now, this white woman who's trying to help Asian women, saying that's a bad stereotype. Now, see the whole video because there's some Asian women began to correct her. Because Asian women say, yeah, we are submissive, but that's not because we oppress. That's our culture. See, culture, guys. Remember I talked about that yesterday. Monogamy is not our culture. And let me speak about monogamy. I know I don't want to, go into that. I was speaking to a friend of mine, a boy PJ. And he said, Gabar, when I was watching your show last night, look at all the publics, all the names that draw those pictures and all the, the public housings and all the magazines, the name of those artists. He said they were all Amalek. Now, people that know what I'm saying, know what I'm saying. Right? Code word, Amalek. I was saying, And it's funny because it was the Amaleks from Europe that was practicing Judaism. They began to push or change the whole concept from polygamy to from monogamy to plural marriage. A man having more than one wife. So I wonder if Amalek was secretly behind, we all know Hollywood, and we all know, the press, social media. That's their thing. They boast they started Hollywood. So this is not a conspiracy theory. This is facts. But is it possible that they begin to push their agenda? Since in Eastern European Jewry, they believe that not only they believe monogamy, but they also started pushing that there's a soulmate for every person. Well, they secretly pushing that. This monogamy thing. But that's a different conversation. Let me go back to this. I want to show some videos in a few minutes, right? That shows that you have foreign men going overseas and marrying these women. And there was this video is from, what's the video's name? Thailand Red. Thailand Red, look it up. I don't know if I put that in the description, but I'm gonna put the link in the description so you guys should check it out. And basically, this is just showing a regular day. I'm gonna mute it. Matter of fact, let me put it. A regular day in Thailand, and showing different couples. And the title of this particular video is, what is it? Ladies and foreigner men. This was March 2021, 17 March 21, right? So let's see a little bit of it. Matter of fact, let me put it a little larger because I want you guys to see it. Let me here we go. So this is basically, and I want you brothers and sisters to tell me, are these women looking oppressed? Matter of fact, part of the beef that a lot of Asian women had with this white woman was that we're not all broke. We're not all poor. We're not submissive because we have to. They got offended. So watch the video. You can follow the whole thing on the social media. So let's look at this. So, and I'm gonna show, because it was just a video showing this looks like all foreigners, and they have face masks because it was during the pandemic. This lady looks around the same age, right? That she looks oppressed, I don't know, right? Let me go back to the first. This lady looks oppressed. This guy looks pretty handsome, and she looks pretty, good looking. They look like a pretty decent match, right? Look at this couple here. She looks around the same age appropriate, right? She doesn't look like she's 19, right? These are couples overseas. This one here. Look at this man. This guy looks like a European, right? This lady looks around the same age. I know it's hard for you guys to see it, their face, because the face mask and all that. But you could tell that she's not 19, 17, 16. This guy is not a pedophile. These are all couples. Let's see here. This couple here, they look pretty age appropriate. And we saw her face here. You could tell probably from Europe. You could tell the European brothers from, with the skinny pants and all that. No. I like this, their fashion sense. I'm not judging. But you could tell, let me just move this a little bit. You could tell by their fashion sense. You could tell this sister, Jeffetic sister, looks pretty, because the stereotype is, and it does happen, because there's spectrum to everything. Old men getting these 18-year-old women because these old men got money and these old women or these young women are poor. and then the village. That does happen too. But is every case the case? I don't know. Let's talk about it. All right. Let me see here. This couple here, that looks pretty, right? She looks age appropriate, right? Does she looking oppressed? Or this man, white man, couldn't find a good white woman in America. Or any American. I don't know what she's in. Obviously, if he's dating other race, he's probably, he doesn't mind the gender of the woman. Oh, not the gender, excuse me, the race of the woman, right? Are these men are sexual predators, as this woman called it? Let me fast forward. Over here, look at this, older couple. They look age appropriate. Maybe this guy was just looking for a nice woman, not to nag him. Maybe he got sick of all this feminist and don't gentrify me and blah, blah, blah. And it looks like now this has been an issue for a long time within the white race as well. Let's talk about this. So maybe us black and brown and white men have to put aside our differences and unite forces to destroy this evil called feminism. I don't know. Let's have a conversation. Right? So let's see here. This couple here. Now, this couple, you could clearly see, she probably would not have, she looks pretty young. He looks pretty older. I'm not judging here, but that does happen, right? You could tell that, I don't know. I don't want to judge the situation. You guys can see the video on your own. I'll put it in the on the community section. Right, let's see here. Let me see what else. This couple here, see pretty equally matched. He seems, handsome guy. She looks a young, pretty girl. She doesn't look oppressed. This couple here, walking together. And guess what, folks? These American men are living over there. They're not bringing these women back. So the argument that all these foreign women are marrying men to get the American visa or passport or citizenship, not every case. So sometimes brothers just looking for love, man. Men are just looking for a decent wife. They're not, they don't, it's not always a sexual predator thing. That does happen too. Pedophiles do go and begin to take advantage of young women. That happens too. That happens too. And I'm going to show you guys another, another scenario. Right. And let me speed it up a little bit. Right here. Is this guy a sexual predator? I just want to know. Right. This is a case. It came out in the news 4 years ago, and to kind of give you guys the backdrop here, right? There are different nonprofit organizations that you send care package to third world countries, poor families in third world countries. And it was a mom that told her son, listen, and he was about 10 years old, and the mom told the son, you're going to have a buddy overseas that you could send them stuff. So you're 10 years old. What will you like? So he put toys, different things, right? Video games, and shipped it out. And it happened to be a little girl around the same age. So an American white man, he was a white boy. He was a young man at that time, but then he became older. And years later, that young Filipino girl reached out to him. And this is what happened. So fair use.
Chris.
Oh, wait. Let me fix this. I was trying to make this.
Miss Love.
Okay, I slowed down. Okay, my bad. Let me speed it up.
Story to tell you about 14 years in the making.
Yeah, Roland, a story that's beautifully documented in this scrapbook that may just make you believe in miracles.
It is a beautiful love story. It's a love story that actually happened.
It started simply with a shoebox and a photo. A Christmas care package from a little farm boy in Midvale, Idaho, who only hoped to share his blessings.
So obviously he's a Christian, right? And he sent this little girl 14 years ago a care package, but he sent her a little picture of him. She eventually found them, and they began to talk. So let's speed it up a little bit for you guys to see what you guys guess where this is going, right?
Tyrell Wolf. The 8-year-old Filipino girl cherished it, and as the years passed, she never...
So she was 8, he was 10, right? And they were buddies. This happened 14 years ago.
forgot her cowboy.
That shoebox got a little,
I guess this is a white sexual predator at 10 years old. My God, watch out, white women.
a big impact into my life and also to my family. That's why I want to thank him, and so I tried finding him on Facebook.
I got down there and I seen that there was this friend request from a girl in the Philippines.
Then I got,
But she's like, I do remember a picture in the box.
So the
I
picture,
ran out of the crowd, and it's like,
they met for the first time.
the biggest question is like, Lord, is this a dream?
I was just so happy, like meeting him, seeing him face to face.
At that point, we just knew that there was no possible way that she could have found me just out chance.
Well,
was
according,
Through God that she found me.
wait a minute. This sexual predator is crying. Those are crocodile tears. You're a sexual predator. You took over. You took advantage. Now, she reached out to him, and they eventually fell in love because they were, around similar age. He was 10, she was 8. He sent her a care package. She sent an email through Facebook or a message to Facebook, thanking him that picture, that those toys and the thing that she bought him, she still cherished that, and she wants to thank him because that kind of helped her out when she was 8 years old and things of that nature. So now they're married.
The short visit cemented the couple's future.
The thing that's going through my mind is I have to come back.
And Ty did, twice more in the next year, finally asking Joanna's father for her hand in his native tongue.
This evil white man going to the father, asking permission for hand in marriage. Right? So we have to be very careful with these so-called intersectional feminism nonsense. Because now what they're doing is they're demonizing men to say, you know what? I can't find a good woman here in America. And American women, instead of adjusting and looking at the scenario objectively, they're getting offended. Fair use.
Po ba kayong pagkasalan ko ang iyong
This sexual predator even is learning Filipino language to seduce this woman. That's what's happening? Or this is simply just a man falling in love with a woman who happened to be from a different country. Right? So they fell in love, fair use.
anak na si Joanna.
Could I have your permission to marry your daughter, Joanna?
The nerve of this guy.
5 months later, this past October, the two wed.
So it is offensive, man, especially white people or white women. You got to stop with this crap thinking that you are thinking for black and brown people in other countries. And only highlighting, bad things that happen in these third world countries. There's some good people in other countries They're not all drug addicts and drug dealers and drug smugglers and predators and all of that. Worry about your country. This country. We have a lot of sexual predators in this country. They're running for office. They are being in better call office. Why are you not demanding, and since you want to protect women, why are you not demanding that the United States government release some Congress, or some Supreme Court, some prosecutor, federal prosecutor, release all the names that Mr. Epstein had in that island? If you want to protect women so much. We have to talk about this. We have to talk about this, right? So they fell in love, right?
In Ty's parents' backyard, Joanna radiant in a $5 thrift store dress.
And
with
these
her
are his
Mayfield cowboy.
and these are
Grown up.
These are his friends. You could say this is buddy. Do these guys look like sexual predators, or these guys would probably say, you know what? Let me go find a woman, over the another sea, because it's hard for me to find a woman here. Because these nice guys, you women don't want anyway. Let's talk about it.
Up and now dressed in a traditional Filipino barong. For gifts, the couple asked for what else? Shoe boxes packed full of love. Who could have guessed one tiny present would lead to all of this? Then again,
so you guys can see it on your own. I put it in the chat room. Let me put it again just in case. You just look up, American man finds love overseas, blah, blah, blah. Love story. But he's a predator. He is a predator, right? Taking advantage of this poor girl. And I wanted to come on tonight, just for, an hour or so. Not that long. I wanted to just come on and have this conversation, because there is a phenomenon going on here in the United States. Western women are going bonkers. And like I said before, I believe only 1% of American women got some common sense, 1%. And that's about 1,075,000 women are left from 175, since there's 350 million people in America, half of that is women. That's 175 million women, give or take. There's usually a little more. It's more like 49, 50, 51, 49 women. There's a little more women than men. And when you break down the availability of men, then that because you got the gay population, and you got it kind of goes down in regards to man availability. And it's weird because in America there are more available men than there are women. So you would think that women will be more appreciative of a good man. Why this young, red-blooded American couldn't find a nice woman here in the States? Right? And I'm saying that to say this, folks. I'm not wrong. We have to address this as a community, as a Hebrew Israelite community, as a black and brown community, as a Christian community, as an American community, whatever you want to identify, because we're all stuck here in West Babylon. Until we start having real conversation, men, about this issue, and stop waiting for women, Western women, to get on the train. They will never get on the train. Some of them. Only 1%. If you could find one of those 1%, even they may be 2%. I may be wrong. They may be up to 10%. That's the most I tied, right? Maybe 10% of the population for men and women. Okay, I'll give you that. That means it's 90% they are bad. So I'm just trying to have a conversation tonight about this subject and address it. I know that there has been a lot of conversation, a lot of topics I have addressed in this show that, has, I have lost some fans. I get it. I got a lot of criticism. I get it. I'm not bringing biblical scriptures. I'm bringing my conjecture, or, let every man be a liar. Let God be true. That's been used against me in these comments because of this plural marriage thing. But I'm not wrong. And it is time for men to stand up and just simply say no. Either I'm going to be in a scenario that I am following God's commandment, I'm going God's way, and I'm going to allow nothing to stand in my way. Or you could stay here and continue arguing with these lost creatures. Don't feel shame, brothers. You're not wrong for feeling not respected. You're not wrong for feeling disrespected. You're not wrong for feeling that women are just simply not right. And we've been patient. We've been waiting. But now is the time to act. And what does that mean? What does that mean, Gabar, to act? What should I do? Leave my wife? I'm not saying none of that. Because if you have a good wife who's trying, and she acknowledges it, stay with her. Work with her. A girlfriend or whatever, because I'm catering not only to the Christian community, the Hebrew Israelite community, I'm catering on to the secular community. Because this also affects anybody. It doesn't matter what God you believe in. We all stuck in the same issues. But at the end, when it's all said and done, is the Bible is going to stand. I do agree. Let every man be a liar. But let the God of the universe, the God of the Bible, be true. If I'm wrong, I'll be proven wrong. But folks, I'm not wrong. There's a problem in America. And until man come together with solutions and say, hey, brother, this is how I overcame that. Hey, brother, listen, avoid that. Hey, brother, no. Trust me, you're doing a mistake. And what's my premise? What I'm standing? A man should not allow himself to sign any contract, whether it be marriage, whether it be any contract or put themselves in any position that will compromise them going God's way. And I'm reaching out to the young population, the men that haven't committed to a woman, or maybe have a girlfriend, or maybe had the first year of marriage. And you've seen these signs. You got this concern. You got a little spider sense in the back of your mind saying, something ain't right. Something ain't right. That little splinter in your mind driving you crazy is the Most High telling you, you got to get out. You have to get out. If it ain't right, brother, because you've been brainwashed to think that marriage is a struggle, is an argument with some, good days and bad days and blah, blah, blah. And all that is true without the argument stuff. I don't argue with any women. That's not me. That's not me. One of the things I tell women, if you get me so mad that I want to punch something, this is not the place for me. If you get me so angry that I'm literally can't even think straight, I'm sorry. Me has to go. And that thing has kept me safe. Kept me safe. Kept me out of jail, that's for sure. So what I want to address tonight, man, and what I want to bring home, and this is not to attack women or, being felt like, I'm a women hater. You believe that? That's fine. Turn the channel, do something else. But somebody has to talk about it within the Hebrew Israelite and the Christian community. We're not following our culture. We're not in a scenario that we are being truth to the book, men and women. But since men are the image of God and men of God's sheep and flock, us men who have to correct it. And what has worked for me is starting a relationship right by establishing my standards because I have value. I mattered. Yes, I'm going to pick up the big, heavy stuff. Yes, I'm going to protect somebody trying to break into the house. Yes, I'm going to do my duty as a man. But you better do your duty. And I'm not going to be patient with that. I start from the door. A lot of problems with you brothers. You're trying to save these women. They can't be saved. You see these bad signs, these bad attributes, and you ignore them because you want to help a broken bird. No, brother. You're feeding the enemy. You're feeding the problem. If you deal with semen retention, if you start saying, you know what, I'm going to wait a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, if need be, but I'm not going to lay down with a woman who is not worth my standards. And you don't allow no one to derail you of those standards, like I said before, you will become more powerful than you ever imagined. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I hope I didn't offend anybody. It really comes from a place of love. It's one of those things that love comes in different forms. And there's a thing that's called tough love. And I'm your big brother just trying to give you some tough love. So let's continue talking about this. Let's continue having a conversation about this. You know what? I don't even know if, let me open the tab. If somebody's trying to text me or call me. Let me see here. And I know, I have gotten less phone calls, and I'm not judging anybody. I know some of these conversations in these topics sometimes are a bit controversial, and I could understand. Where's the do not disturb? Make sure it's off. Incoming, always. I think we're good. Where are you? Do not disturb. Because maybe I just want to make sure we don't have it on. If somebody's trying to call me, just let me know. Text, send a message. Oh, here you go. Yeah. Do not disturb is off. So we should good. We're good. We are good in the neighborhood. Okay. So, and I know, I've gotten less phone calls because, let's face it, a lot of my fans were GOCC members. After we left and I left and I began to talk other things that GOC doesn't condone, like, plural marriage. I began this, I know there's been a thing. So, but thanks for watching anyway. Thanks for subscribing anyway. Thanks for liking the video or disliking the video, because the worst thing in this game is to be ignored. Yep. Yeah, shout out to Sister Love Asia. I hope I can meet your daughter one day. I remember your wife, Desiree. Yeah, being nice. Yeah, and sweet. Yep. She's a yep. That's why I marry her. She's a good woman. There's good women out there, man. There's good women out there. I'm not saying that it's all doom and gloom, but we have to address it, and women have to understand that good women are hard to find, and they cannot get offended when they hear that because it's the truth. So what they have to work on is separating themselves from women that are not following God's commandment and putting themselves in a position that they are being inspired by good women. That's the reason why brothers don't like their wife hanging out with who? Single friends. If you want to hang out, you should be hanging out with what? Married women. They know how to honor and obey their husband. And when you surround yourself around that goodness, when you surround yourself around that, women with that spirit, it's contagious. It starts spreading. Sometimes you have to cut certain people, ladies. I had to cut certain friends that would influence me in a certain kind of way. So I hope you enjoyed this show. Like and subscribe. May the Most High keep you and watch you. Shalom. Peace.